Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, what's up? My name is Nikki French and I am so excited for the first Halloween tutorial of the season. Thank you so much to Bacardi for sponsoring this video. Content and opinions expressed here are my own. I partnered up with them to create this zombie look. I decided to do a little Victorian zombie look. And we're also gonna make a delicious Bacardi zombie cocktail. This totally brings me back to the days of bartending. And yeah, so I'm so excited. Make sure you stay tuned for this Victorian zombie look. But first, let's make this Bacardi zombie cocktail. Yep. First is I chilled a glass. I put some ice in it. And oh, by the way, also down below will be a link where you can purchase the whole kit. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I forgot to get this or I forgot to get that. It's a whole kit that has all the ingredients to make this cocktail. First up, we're gonna add some simple syrup along with 100% real lime juice. Now this is actually just creating a sweet and sour mix. I prefer this way over than the sweet and sour mix that you buy that's already together because it's a lot more synthetic tasting. This is the good stuff. I went ahead and cut an orange and we're gonna squeeze these 2 halves, or you definitely could use orange juice. Next up, we're gonna add some orange liqueur. This is 1 part, a half part grenadine. And here comes the good stuff, 1 part of Bacardi rum and 1 part of Bacardi black. Throw a couple ice cubes in there. Shake, 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 shake. Pop this top off. Ooh, and away we go. Add a straw, some cherries of course, and an orange. And there you have your Bacardi zombie cocktail. Yum. So good. Cheers. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is prep our face. I'm using MAC strobe cream in the color Goldie Light. Now I'm gonna use some quick oats, just some regular, you could use old-fashioned oats, but I find the quick oats are a little bit better to work with because they have different sizes. It's not like just whole ones. And the reason why we're doing this is because it's going to create texture on the face. Using some white eyelash glue, and let's do some over here, going down the neck a little. Let's balance it out, put a little bit over here on the forehead. A couple seconds for that to get tacky. Messy way to go about it, but it definitely works. Definitely make sure it is fully dry before going to the next step, otherwise it's just going to come off. Around where we place the oats, we're going to grab a little bit more eyelash glue. And now you're just going to take a spoolie and sort of move that. You'll see the difference when we start putting the foundation on, but it's also going to create a little bit different texture. Using the Mayron Cream Foundation, we're going to be picking up just the lighter shades here, and we're going to be blending it down into the chest because it's definitely a lot lighter. We want to look very Victorian-esque and kind of dead. So we definitely want this portion to be very white and very bright so we can get this area to be sort of sunken in. Here, it's going to really pop. Underneath where we're going to put that contour, really want this to pop. When going over the oatmeal, just make sure you do it in a patting motion and not like a rubbing motion, just to make sure that all that stuff does not budge. I'm now going to use the second lightest color from this palette just to create a little bit of dimension around the forehead. Also going to cover up the tail of this brow slightly, just because I want the arch to be up a little bit higher. Because I have light eyebrows and they're pretty thin, I can get away with not using the full glue stick method. But if you have thicker brows, you definitely are gonna have to use a glue stick. And with the cream contour shade, we're gonna add a little bit more color just right in this area. Go down and bring it further, almost like you would when you contour a man, just to give that more sunken in look. Also in the temple area. And now let's go and blend it out. For even more brightness, we're going to use the Jouer concealer in the color Snow. We're not going to go completely under the eyes, just right below it here, because we're going to create some shadowing there later. And same thing on the other side, right here. Using Too Faced Peach Perfect, we're going to set the entire face, like really push that powder in. I'm just going ahead and take my nail and move this glue a little bit more so we have a little bit more ripping, as you can see, like that. I'm going to be using the Morphe 35K. This is a perfect palette for this because it has a lot of cool tones. A cool tone brown, and we're going to really carve out that sunken in look even more. So same step as before, right underneath the cheekbone and down straight that way. Got a lot of darkness over here in these temples. Anytime you do any skull makeup for Halloween, or anything that's dead, you always want to block out these temples, really shade them in, because that will give you such a sunken in look and gives you that dead, like, kind of look. These first steps in the shading is not super precise. It's just starting to lay down some color and make sure we get that pop, the change of that light to the dark. That same color, we're going to shade down the nose because we still want a little bit of a snatch nose. You're going to really get right up into the beginning of your brow because we want that really to be hollow looking. Inside the nostril, a little bit under the lip. Let's take a smaller brush and we're going to go back with a little bit darker color. If it helps, go ahead and suck in your cheeks. Using Pomegranate Fruit Cocktail Blush Duo from Too Faced, and let's pop that right there. You want this to be pretty pigmented because we're going to place powder over it. We want it to look like it's really been there, it's been worn, but it's kind of peeking through. I'm also going to take that and give a wash on the lids. Going back with the Peach Perfect powder, just go ahead and stamp that over top. Now going in with a darker color again, we're going to sculpt this a little more, the darkness towards the ear. Grab that blush brush that we used and we're going to fade just the top of it out. Keep that stark line here. Don't touch that. Don't touch. Using that first brush that we used in the very beginning, there's a little bit of concealer on it, not concealer, foundation, but I want that. I'm gonna pick up a stark white and I'm just gonna stamp it all over my face. I'm gonna do that same thing with any light true gray eyeshadow. Just wanna look dirty. Grab a little more around the nose. Let's go do some detail in these cracks here. Going around them to really make that weathered skin peeling off just really pop. I'm going to be using Ofra liquid lipstick. We're also going to be putting this on our lips, I think, but we're going to place a little bit in those wounds. This is the color Atlantic City. And on that spool, we're going to do the same thing around the mouth, like we ate someone. Mix in a little bit more gray underneath that and just pounce that in. Using Nikki Tutorials collaboration with Ofra, this is the highlighter in Space Baby. And we're gonna put that right at the tops of the cheeks. Using Makeup Forever artist pens, I'm using the color Boundless Blue and Endless Plum to create some veins. Again, go over that with powder just to make it less prominent. Let's move on to the lips. I'm using the Lime Crime Firebird lip liner. And we're gonna create a high mouth but narrowed this way just to kind of stick with that Victorian theme. Going back with Ofra Atlantic City liquid lipstick. Using another Makeup Forever liner, this is in Boundless Bisque underneath that lash line. Now using Endless Cacao color, right below where we place that, we're going to draw a line following your natural eye shape. And picking up a brown and we're going to blend that out. Not upward, downward. Now using a very dark brown, and we're going to get a little bit closer just to make some more definition here. And now with a straight black, just a very thin line. And let's get that white right up to the brow bone. Grab a little bit of brown, and we're going to make this a really very oval shape. We don't want anything pulled out for this look. You guys know it's hard for me because I love everything pulled out. But for this, for Halloween, we will do it. Going back with that Makeup Forever taupe color And we're just going to hit the eyebrow a little bit. Just like I said, I covered the edge because I wanted a little bit more of a rounded, higher look. Using a black eyeshadow, purse your lips, and then open your mouth and really make sure the black is concentrated on the inner portion. And the same thing with that white. Really scrunch those lips. Cocktail break. Using Tarte is liner, we're gonna add a beauty mark. I'm gonna go back in with a Too Faced blush. I'm just gonna add a little bit more on the lids. And let's blend it out underneath. Ofra liquid lipstick one more time, right in here and right in here. I was thinking about doing lashes, but I think it's actually creepier without it. So grab a little bit of black in there, just kind of stipple it on. We're gonna be using Danessa Myricks Clear Color Fix. Use the Jouer concealer in Snow again. First thing you're gonna do is really push forward to get those collarbones sticking out. And you're gonna make this really ugly face like this. And you're gonna get all these lines in here. That's what we're gonna work with. You're gonna take a black eyeshadow, you're gonna start creating this depth here. So this also can help if you just go like that, suck it in. And underneath the collarbone here and on top. And start blending it upward, just whatever is left on the brush. I like to take a little bit of that under the chin as well. Taking a cool tone brown now and going right over that and start blending it outward. We're going to be doing this step back and forth, creating that depth. Going back with that Tarte eyeliner, and we're going to really darken this area up here. And same thing on the bottom of that collarbone. And then take that black shadow right over it and blend it. Definitely does not have to be crazy neat either, which is always fun with Halloween tutorials. Just changing my brush to a little bit thinner one to get it really dark at those very edges of that highlight. Some white eyeshadow from that same Morphe palette. And wherever I want it to be really black, I'm just using the other end of that Tarte pencil, and this is a liquid liner. Alright guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next tutorial or whatever it might be. Definitely leave me comments down below of what you want to see next from me for Halloween looks, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.